Greetings everyone, thanks for joining us today for a fly tying tutorial. My name is Ryan Ratliff, I'm guide and fly tying manager here at Mad River Outfitters. Today we're going to work on a fly, it's just a simple steelhead fly, something I've been using for a long time. It works well if you're swinging clear water, if you are indicator fishing, lots of different options here. It's called lots of different names, but right now I've kind of stuck with the polar bugger. So super simple fly, something you can fill a box with. If you wanted to call it a guide fly, this would be definitely one that I fill up a box real quick with. And you can customize it many different colors, but I'm kind of doing the shiner pattern today. All right, so first off, we are going to get the hook. So just, you can use any type of hook. I kind of like this hook. This is the Gamakatsu. It's the SL11. And it's going to have the right size gap, the right size strength, and it's also a little bit silver, so it kind of blends in with the body. Not that it really matters, but kind of one of those things. All right, so let's go ahead and throw a hook in the vise. First off, actually need to put on a cone. So I'm going to put on a cone here too. So just going to take the cone. You know how to put on a cone. Point goes through the point of the hook. Feed that up through there. Sometimes it gets caught up on the barb a little bit. You just kind of push it on through. It'll be okay. You could smash down your barb if you want to, but it's okay. Put it in your vise, all set there, and then you need to have thread, and that's one thing I totally forgot to get. I don't have any thread, so hang on one second. All right, so we got some thread. All right, this is UTC 140. You could use 70, you can use Vivas 60. Just a simple thread. Again, this is just a quick fly. This is typically what you would have for a streamer, tying up streamers. So just going to coat the shank here. Going to stop in between the hook point and the hook barb. Get rid of that little tag. Next we're going to grab just some regular strung white marabou. Kind of got a couple plumes here. I don't need this whole entire thing. I'm just kind of using this end. So there's some kind of ratty stuff here. I'm going to pull this off. Throw this on the floor, let Pat sweep it up later. All right. So then I'm going to take this plume of marabou here. I'm going to lay it down on the hook shank. 2 loose wraps over that stem. Then I'm going to pull that to the length that I want. And typically it's going to be about maybe a little bit more than a hook shank. So I get it about where I want it there. Just give a little bit of tension. 2 more wraps up. Just double check that's where I want it. I can trim it off here, but if you trim it off here, it's going to leave like a shelf. So, and again, this is a quick fly, so I'm just going to wrap up to where the bead is, twist the feather, then trim it off. So then the body is more smooth that way. Overwrap on that real quick, right to the back, double check, make sure everything's good. My feather isn't just sitting on one side. Next I'm going to take some lateral scale flash. Cut the side of the package like that. You've seen Brian do that. Pull out a couple strands, just pop that off there. Got 2 strands, I'm going to grab it in the middle. Got it closest to me, 2 loose wraps there. Then I'm going to fold it over, and on the other side, 2 loose wraps, 3 wraps on that side. Trim them down, just sticking out just past the tail, the marabou tail. Really all we want is just a little bit of shimmer back there through that, next to that marabou. All right, next step. It's going to be a lot, similar to a regular woolly bugger. We set all of our stuff here and wrap forward. Next thing we got here, we have some speckled crystal chenille in white. Again, you can make this any color you want. Black, olive, lots of those are always good colors. Peel off some of the end of the fuzzy stuff so I expose the core. I'm going to lay the core in, a couple loose wraps. I'm going to walk this up and then cross it back. I don't want that to pull out. So that's all locked in there. I'm gonna hook that over that. Next, I'm going to take some UV polar chenille. This happens to be in gold color. For this pattern, I've tied it in with the silver and the UV pearl. I just happen to like this gold color the best. I don't think the fish really care. It's just, as a fly tyer, we just tie what's on hand, use what's on hand, and also what we like the best. So same thing, loose kind of wraps up, cross them back just to make sure we lock that in. All right, so I'm going to hold that, put my thread, advance it up to the cone, maybe give a half hitch or a close little whip finish so it doesn't come out. Notice how I'm keeping this in the package. Again, this is kind of speeding this stuff up. All right, so I'm going to grab the chenille here, and if you don't have a bobbin holder like this Regal Revolution, I don't have the bobbin holder on there right now, so I'm going to use my middle finger. I'm not flipping you all off, just holding it out there, and then I'm going to rotate this. Just going to work this chenille up the body here. Get up to the cone. Going to stop there. Again, I'm not trimming this stuff off because I don't want to waste any. I'm going super fast here. If I really cared a whole lot, I'd measure it out and pre-cut everything, but I'm going super fast. This is kind of like a guide fly. So I'm looping over the chenille a couple times, get 2 or 3 wraps in there, come in, pop that off, 2 wraps over that tag end, another half hitch, pick up the polar chenille, put this over my finger here. I'm going to rotate this, get it started first, and then I'm just doing big stripes forward, making sure I'm not trapping any material down. Just candy striping this up. So similar to a woolly bugger, except I don't have to deal with the hackle, which is one of the weak links in this. I don't have to deal with counter wrapping it with wire. Also, make the V in the scissors and slide it down the polar chenille, push so I don't cut any of that extra flash off. 3 or 4 wraps there just to kind of cover up that tag. Pull that back. One more step. Pull out some Senyo's laser dub. This happens to be in the white. Kind of get a clump of it. I'm going to stack it. If you're not familiar with this technique, just kind of grab the bunch, grab some here, and just continuously stack it and pull it out on top so it's all even. I might do it again. Got some stragglers out on the ends. All right, so it's kind of flat. As you can kind of see, it's kind of like a flat sheet. I'm going to lay that right behind the bead, going right in the middle of this clump, letting it tent around 2 very, very loose wraps. Then tension it down. Kind of pull this way so it slides in behind the bead. Make sure I'm still in the middle of that wrap. 2 more wraps. Push it all back. A couple wraps there. Stroke that back. See how it blends in to the body, creating like a 3D effect. All right, so a little bit loose here on the cone. If I really cared, wanted to make sure that was tightened up, I'd put in another clump, or I can just take a little bit of this, some more laser dub, and I can just wrap it in to tighten up the bead. Tucking it all back behind the bead. You really don't even see it too much there. Then hand whip finish. Again, this is a quick fly. I don't want to have to reach for another tool. Quick whip finish, tighten it up, and pop it off. Super fast, super simple. Catches a lot of steelhead, either swung in low conditions or under an indicator. Trail it but with an egg. Polar bugger. As the light shines on it, as that material gets wet, it gets transparent, gets a 3D effect in there. Really good. If you got pressured fish, maybe switch out from this bright bead, maybe put just a gold cone on there. All kinds of different stuff. Tie it on a jig hook, all kinds of different things. Typically size 6, you could even do a Daiichi 2220 into a size 4. That just gets a little bit long in my opinion, but 2220 into 6 is a good option too. So that's it. Thanks for joining us today. Where we tied the polar bugger. If you like this video, make sure you click the like button below, leave us a comment, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the shop. Thanks.
If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.